Good morning. I think I need another theme song for a non-Friday, but I'm gonna see how I could chop it up. So let's.
Before we chat, I'ma give y'all the recap. I was working in Japan and I take care of my sick dad, cause in January of this year, my mom passed.
All right, so I am heading out to walk because it's nice, same spot, but the trees are doing the tree things, what have you. So last night, a friend from middle school, middle school or ninth grade, because we all live in the same area. She hit me up and said, "Hey, you want to hang out? You want to go out for drinks, or you just want to sit on my porch?" Now I don't drink, so I'm like, sure. So I walk down the street because she's just right down the block. Walk down the street, and she's on her porch. I sit on her porch, and for like the next 2 hours, we're just talking, and like the stuff we talked about was so impacting. I gotta add another song to Moonrock. Like, it changed, because basically the thesis of Moonrock was fuck all y'all, not y'all, but I'm just giving up on people and I'm just gonna do my own thing. And then talking to her, she just kind of like, she impressed upon me that it takes two, and it gave me another perspective. So I'm gonna add that to. Ain't this pretty? My dad be like, "Why do you be walking? Because you don't see pretty shit like this, nature." And then Halloween stuff. But it was just like. So basically, she's in a situation where she has to take care of her parents. I'm in a situation where I gotta take care of my parent. She's in a situation where her brothers or siblings are not. Whatever. I'm in a situation, like it was like almost 1-to-1. And for me, that's I don't want to say the only way this would work, but just telling any person, hey, blah, 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 and they don't know what I'm going through, 1-to-1. All those, I'm sorry, it don't matter to me. I've always been that way. But, like she's sitting there crying, I'm crying. Like going to the therapist, she'll be like, I mean, she's pretty good. I had another therapist, I'd be like, oh, I fell down and hurt my bum. She said, don't worry, the world is a better place. I say, my mom died. She says, don't worry, the world's a better place. Like, there's no difference. She's just gonna keep spitting out the same dribble. Maybe some people need that, but and it's just like, in theory, everyone is gonna end up going through something like this. I mean, maybe your parents die when you're younger. Maybe they die in accidents. Maybe they have cancer. But at some point, they're going to pass away. And I feel bad for that family where the kids have been indoctrinated on how to take care of us when we're old. When we get old, and they have but they will know what to do, but that thought will be in their brain since, I don't know the right way. I mean, my mom started talking about paying for the burial like a couple years ago, and it'd just be tacked on at the end of a conversation. By the way, I'm paying for my burial. And I'm just like crying over here like, but you're not gonna die. But we all die, and it's a thing. I just came out the house, and the last thing my dad said, he was talking for so I woke up, I'm alive, fresh air, wash my face, brush my teeth. I'm like, I'll go for a walk. And I stopped by my dad, and I'm just like, hey, Dad, last night I had a really great conversation with one of my friends. Just sharing, And I try to tell him, like, she's in a similar situation. And the next thing, for the next 25 minutes, I'm getting the recap of, without the music, but the recap of everything that has happened. What the hell? Car speeding down here. Getting a recap of everything that's happened, which I'm here. I know what happened. I know who said what and what said that. And like it just kind of like it's just pointless, you know. What's the point of saying something to people if they're just going to say what they're going to say anyway? So some of the gems from this conversation that I had with my dad this morning was, you know, you got to find someone. You got to find someone, settle down. And how do you propose that, sir? Maybe I'll meet someone on the street, like laying on the ground, and I'll just pick them up and bring them home. Maybe I'll like it's just harder as you get older. It's one of those things. Now, not for everybody. Some people, their life's mission is to go out and pick up everybody they meet. Serial pickup, because that's their thing. More power to them. But and it's like I had my system in Japan, you know. It's just here in America. It's kind of, if I would say to my dad, if I was back in Japan, I'd probably be having someone already. But since I'm here, I can't. So, but, and then there's the other part. Everyone in my family, not everyone, but most of the people in my family are not in loving, happy relationships, model relationships. I mean, before my mom passed away, my dad and mom were arguing. It was Christmas. And from my recollection, every Christmas, they would be arguing about something. Like, so forget about all the Christmas music. It's arguing, or music to hide or mask the arguing. Like I just, what the hell is that? Yeah. But yeah. And then, you know, so yeah, so, you know, there was that one. And then my dad was saying, you know, you got to use your brain, not the computer brain. And he kept saying this as if, I don't know, this is a new thing. Like, huh? Use your brain, not the computer brain? Use your... And basically when my dad is saying whatever, there's no interruptions, there's no questioning, there's no defending, because that will turn into an argument. So you just got to sit there and take it. Just doesn't matter if it's hurtful, doesn't matter if it's not correct. Now I'm getting better. I adapt to shit. So I don't need to have the last word, whatever. But it is irritating. Use the computer, don't use the computer. Because what that means is, doesn't matter what I do on the computer. I record my music on the computer. I do my art on the computer. I mean, it's 2022. We do most of the shit using a computer. If you didn't have one, you kind of be assed out. Yep, I'm gonna write this book by hand. So basically, anything I do will not be acknowledged. Yeah, but you use the computer. It's almost like the argument with producers who'll be like, you used the loop. You didn't make it. You didn't compose it with your hands. This is still a thing, man. The first time I encountered that, I think I skipped school. Well, I asked my mom, can I skip school? And I went to New York for a convention. And I was the only one who went because nobody goes to conventions. So I go there and I'm feeling a little nervous because it's the first time, you know. I get there and, you know, it's a music thing, like computer music. And I'm making a conversation with the people around me, and I'm like, yeah, I use sample CDs or something. Or I make music on the computer. And the guy was just like, that's not music. I am a classical violinist. And like, he's berating me. I was like, what, 17? You know, that's just how it is. People are like that. My nephew sent me a song where he's rapping, and I gotta get back to him. I listened to it from the beginning to the end. He had 2. And I'm just happy. Wow, his voice is on a beat that he made. He's expressing his thing, and it's appropriate for the time of now. Like if he was sounding like Kumo D, maybe it would work on some retro shit, but it may be hard to gain traction with his peers and the people of his generation, you know? So, you know, cool. Why they be like, oh, you know, that's what people do. Anyway, so today we're gonna do something differently. We always do a loop around, but we're gonna go through the woods. I'm scared, man. I guess my biggest thing was I don't want ticks to jump on me. Maybe ticks could always been jumping on me when I'm close to the woods, but I'm gonna go through it. But I'm gonna say what I gotta say, because it might be a very choppy conversation when I'm going through the woods. But yeah, he sent me a track, and I was like, cool, impressed, happy, because I used to babysit my nephew and play hip hop, my music up and down. And one day I look back in the back seat, and he's in the car seat, and the song was Oompa. I sampled Oompa. Oompa, Oompa. And I looked back at my nephew, I think he was like 3 or 4 or 5. And he's just like, Oompa, Oompa. And my brother was like, he'd be singing it all the time. So, yeah, cool. But, yeah. Like, that's what my dad's saying. And it's just like annoying, because I'm really good at it's like, if you, I know this is not gonna happen anywhere here, but imagine you're like a great football player, basketball, sports, but you're in a family that values designing clothes. You come from this family, and you're like, Dad, come watch me play football or whatever sport. I'm really good. The coach says I have a chance in the whatever league or whatever. And the dad's like, well, can you make your own clothes? You're out there wearing all those other people's brands, but can you make your own clothes? Can you stitch this thing? And that would be an actual argument in that house. Maybe mom or dad, but usually mom's like, let the boy go play football or whatever. Like, no, this is a family business. Great-great-great-grandfather came over here who just, and it's just like, and when I was talking to my friend, like her family's from India, my family's from Jamaica. But just the immigrant problem, because when she was telling her story, I'm like, wow. Because she started with, yeah, you know, it's an immigrant thing or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know any other immigrants. And she's telling her story, and it's like basically 1-to-1. You know, mine is other shit, but, and it sucks because, like, she was talking about how, you know, they say hurtful things. I don't internalize it. I mean, it is hurtful not to be acknowledged for something that you're good at. But I always thought it is what it is. I don't expect my dad to know who Steve Jobs is. Steve Jobs could be like, hey, Matt, well, he's dead. But if Steve Jobs was like, hey, Matthew, I really like what you're doing, my dad can give 2 fucks about it. I mean, actually, if Steve Jobs came to my house, my dad would be like, wow, but it would have to be that kind of, because this happened. I went to college. All my professors thought I was unique and interesting, and when they're writing their recommendations and all those letters, they're glowing. And, you know, I got into the Japan program. I got into NYU waitlisted, blah, blah. So, you know, they think I'm cool. And I wasn't like a great student. It's just I had the potential. You know, it's just the way I talk, the way I am. So one Christmas, one of my professors came to my house because I couldn't get down there because maybe, I don't know the reason. Maybe I didn't have money for the bus. Anyway, he comes down. He came down with equipment because he hired me to do like some stuff. And he brought like this $10,000 camera for me to use for assignment. And while I was up doing something in the bathroom, whatever, he's like talking to my dad and just saying, your son is an amazing person. He could do this and he can do that. And after that point, my dad was just kind of like, ha ha ha, my son. But it's just like, why do things have to... Anyway, so... And then, as always in my dad's room on a Sunday, but usually some mornings, the Bible, the preacher's on there preaching about something. And it just so happened, and maybe this is why my dad was saying, the preacher was talking about love. You need to find someone to love, or be a person who is loving, being in a relationship, love, blah, blah, blah. And my dad's like, Then the preacher said, TV preacher's like, do you want to be around someone who complains all day? And my dad turned from the TV and started, like, no. And I don't want to be in a relationship where I'm with someone 24 hours of a day where they're complaining or arguing or just not happy with their lives. It is the worst feeling ever. I want to be energized. I don't want to hear about what you can't do. I want to hear about what you're doing. You know? Like, I love hearing about people starting new hobbies. Love hearing about people trying something that they never did before. And there's a chance they're going to fail and fall on their face, but they're going to try it. I like to see people taking their own money. Maybe they don't have a lot of it, but they take their own money and they put it forward towards something. Like that shit, my battery, like it just starts overflowing. Like, all right, cool. Because it makes me, you know, I'm always doing shit, but it makes me do more. But to hear people, I don't know why I can't, why this person's, that drains my battery, man. Or like if you're dealing with people who are, I don't know why my wife is the way she is, or my husband, you married them. That's the person you're fucking. That, like, you put yourself, now maybe, you know, in the beginning was all cool, but the signs are always there, man. Like, I lead in with, yo, man, I'm a difficult person. That's why I say on date one. That way you ain't getting me sidelined. I'll be like, yo, check out my videos on YouTube. It'll tell you, man, this is me, man. Flaws and all. But I know people don't really lead in with that. Like, I would rather go on a date, and this is why it's going to be really hard to find my soulmate. On our date, she has no makeup. She has, like, she's clean. She took a bath and all that, but she's just blah. Just normal, right? She don't have any airs on. She's just doing her thing, you know? She comes out in sweatpants. She don't got a bra on. She's just like, you know, this is me, man. You know, this is the first date. I ain't going to invest. I'm here. We can go from there. We go eat at McDonald's. I mean, I don't eat at McDonald's so much. But we just eat, and then we work backwards. As we get to know each other, we start to do more. But I you know, TV, most magazines, most advice is the opposite. You got to put your best foot forward. You never get a second chance to make, you know, all that shit. But how many people get divorced, and how many, like, clearly that doesn't work, right? Clearly. Like in the case of my dad and mom, they've been doing that 1940, what do you call it? You bet, Leave It to Beaver. So their parents slept in different beds. My parents were sleeping in different rooms for 40 years. The last time they were in the same room was when I was born, and I was escaping the crib. Like, I would climb over that shit. I don't even know how that worked, because it wasn't on the floor. So I would get out, fall to the floor, get on the bed, and jump in the middle of the bed or whatever. So I heard, but I vividly, it's foggy, but I remember doing that. But it's like, it's like, it is hard for me to get advice from anyone who is not living the lifestyle I want. I should repeat that. It is hard for me to get advice from anyone who's not living the lifestyle I want. Like, there's not, of course I could respect that you care enough to try to put me on the right path. And once you say it, it's said. But I'm gonna say that one more time. It is hard for me to respect someone living a lifestyle that I do not want. So, yeah, man. Yeah. Because, again, like I've been in a lot of conversations with people who don't really understand social media, making YouTube videos and all that. And if you were to say to them, yeah, I posted a video and no one watched it, and they're like, I'll watch it, and they watch it. It's like, that doesn't matter. That means nothing. It means something, but you know, it's different. Or I hear people now be like, I posted an Instagram and I only got 5 likes. And this is something where people will like really get distraught about that. I came in before Instagram and a different time for that. So yeah, of course, I don't like not getting any likes or views or comments, but you kind of get over that after a while. Like, I make a video, as I always say, these videos are for me, and I'm so fortunate that some people said they like to listen to me talk about stuff, and then some people actually write comments, some people. So yeah, it works out. Am I getting rich from this? No. Am I getting new subscribers? No. It's decreasing, man. Every boop, 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 boop. And I think the rest are just like, I don't got the time to like unsubscribe, but eventually I'll get around to it. But like that whole lifestyle. I mean, I met a guy. My brother told me there's this guy that needed someone to do video. Actually, he said, there's this guy at my job who does videos, YouTube. Since you aren't doing anything, I told him you could do it for free. But again, it's people are paid to edit videos for YouTube. It is a job. It is a thing. But he was just thrown out. Yeah, you ain't doing shit anyway. So eventually, I watched the guy's video, and you know, he does cars or whatever, and he has all these car videos, like Harleys, motorcycles, cars, whatever. And you could see him in the reflection of like the chrome in the motorcycle. It looks very amateurish. And you can see his shadow, and it's a little shaky, but he did get the thumbnail game down. Every thumbnail was like, top 10 reasons. And yeah, and then he had a great story. He's like, he was a vet, and when he came back, he was depressed, and then he started making these videos as a way to help other vets and raise money so it has a powerful meaning, powerful whatever. I ain't into cars, so I watched the first one, I watched the most viewed one, and then just kind of poked around the other ones. And that was that. I didn't reach out to him because I don't necessarily do cars, and this would have been a buy a drone kind of thing, so you can get a nice up there angle in the cars. And so eventually I'm happy. I was in the office, my brother's office, and he came in. He's like, yeah, this is the guy. I'm like, hey, what's up? And this guy's just like, I am an expert at YouTube and clickbait. I do. And he's just going on and on and on. And I'm just like, you know, it's not about the clickbait. It's about the story. And you have a great story. You talked about how you're a vet and how you, he's like, you watched my videos. I was like, damn straight. And I was like, you know, all you got to worry about is the reflections. Like, yeah, I don't know how to do that. But then he's just going on and on about, yeah, you got to clickbait them. People hate me. Because he's in the early stages of whatever. But I wouldn't want to work with the guy. I knew from the video, and he's a nice guy. And we sat there talking for like a good hour. At that point, my brother leaves the room like, you guys talk about whatever. But it's like that one-to-one. I mean, I could talk about random it'll be hard. That's my flaw. I don't have that general talk about. That's me, right? Anyway. So, moving on. 24 minutes of that. But moving on. I wanted to buy these sample packs, right? I have a lot of them in the same way, and this is how I am making it work for what I do, right? But again, going back to Dilla, he kept buying records. How many records does one person need? But he just kept buying it because you never know what sound will spark your imagination. So he just kept buying them. So it made me feel a little better. So I just keep buying sample packs. But I buy specific styles. So last week I bought, I can't describe it, but it was just like this. I can't explain it. But the guy who made it was from Japan. So it's a Japanese sample creator. And his sound sounds different from the other ones. And then I bought, I don't know, I can't remember. But I stumbled on this other, like, and I don't buy sample packs anymore. I just buy the bundles because it's cheaper, you know? So I saw a new bundle, or I seen the bundle for a while, and the style of music is prog, Italian prog. And I listened to it, just kind of played it, and it meant nothing. Because it's like, maybe Stranger Things. I never seen the show, but I think it has that, again, I never seen it, but just that kind of, so it's not soul sample, it's not classic, it's prog. So I was going to buy it, but it's like, you know, Matthew, you already have a bunch of sample packs, whatever. So I'm debating. Boom, 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 boom. And all right, actually, let me go back real quick. So I know I didn't talk about this. I talked about it before I started recording. So when I was, during the summer, you heard me going up and down, walking and talking, saying like, I don't got no money and I got shit to do and whatever. And people said they're going to help me. And how do I ask for help? Well, we're going down rabbit holes. Let me see if I can keep. So last night when I was talking to my friend, I brought it up like, you know, people are always like saying, if you need anything, just ask. But how can I ask someone for help? And she's like, you know, you just got to ask. And I'm like, and I gave her, well, this was after I said what I'm just saying. So all summer, I didn't have money because of the circumstances that I talked about. We'll leave it be. And in August, I started working and I started getting money for taking care of my dad. And I had one credit card. I have two, but I have one credit card. And I was able to get into a payment program where it would just kind of lock and it wouldn't incur late fees or whatever. But then in the middle of the summer, because of stuff, I couldn't pay the thing. So I didn't. And every month they called me up and say, you got to pay it. And I said, I'm going to get my first paycheck April 1st. And they said, okay. And then the next month, you got to pay. And I said, I'm going to get my first paycheck April 1st. And it just kept going on. And I'm getting all aggravated. Like, come on, man. I told you. I explained the situation. April 1st comes, and I call the place that's supposed to give me the money for my dad, taking care of him. And they're like, oh, yeah, it was lost. We're going to resend it. Like, you're fucking up my shit. So then I got a call. I called them. I said, listen, I know I said April 1st, but they just told me that it's going to be coming in 2 weeks. It didn't come until the end of the month, right? And every time I'm still getting these phone calls, and I'm like, don't you notate what I'm saying? And like, this is a situation, I need help. Am I going to reach out to people? Hey, I need help to pay my credit card bills. That's like a no. Like I benefited from it. It is my mess. That's 100% me. I made my bed and I'm sleeping in it. And that was the plan. And that's what I did. But that's the help I need. I don't need like help, food. Like I don't eat that much. Like all I really needed money for or help with was getting new equipment, sample packs, new computer. Cause now my shit, I can't even run some of the software I got. Cause it just be like, New hard drive. I was thinking about getting one a couple days ago because I'm buying all these sample packs, and I keep backing up everything because I'm just super paranoid. Because I remember I broke the Guinness record, 13-hour video. The file was huge because I did an HD. Had on 2 different hard drives and my computer. I deleted it from my computer. I got on 2 hard drives. Both hard drives failed. I lost the footage. And this would keep, so now I'm like super paranoid. I got backup on backups on backups. But anyway, so I get my paycheck. I got a couple paychecks. And now I have the money to pay my credit card bill, right? And I'm like, I don't want to pay it. And I was thinking all the cool things I'm gonna buy. I could buy this, I could buy that. I could just save it for the inevitable when my dad gets sicker and I need. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm an adult. Let me be responsible. So I paid. Bam! I just, it's all digital. At least for me. My dad would be writing the check. I just push, boom, boom, money, bam. I didn't feel great, but I'm taking care of shit. I am handling my shit. It feels good. So there was a little extra left over, and it's like, I want to buy a sample pack. I deserve it. I want a reward. And now it's just like, okay, I can't buy it because I don't, and that's where we are. So yesterday I went for a walk, and I was listening to said sample pack because they always have. So the crazy thing is, sample packs, they basically play the whole thing as a kind of like a demo, and they might put some words like sample pack, sample pack, but some just play it straight through without even being whatever. They think because they put it like in the lowest, instead of 16-bit or 24-bit, it'll be on like some 12-bit. But realistically, any producer could just flip the sound as if you're taking from an MP3, taking from a tape, taking from a record. But I'm trying to just keep all my ducks lined up. So I buy the sample pack, I put the receipt with the sample pack, so when it comes time to prove that I bought it and all that good shit, it's legit. It's a good feeling. I had to go back through my sample pack because at one point I just started taking them out of their respective folders, because they put it like a folder within a folder within a folder, which is annoying when you're just trying to just jump in. So I just took all piano packs and threw them into one big folder and separated by key, but then you don't know where the sample came from. So I had to go back and re-download it from the sites, and then tedious. But, again, keeping my ducks in order, because I got a plan, man. Got a plan. And so anyway, I'm walking and I'm just listening to the music, and there was something that every style, every beat, every sample pack has a different vibe, and every vibe has me rapping a different way. And I'm just I'll be rapping, like it had me rapping like how the kids rap. It'd be like, I bet this is money if you're sending me, calling this and not, oh, and the more I did it, the more it just started to click, and I'm out here, out in the soul, and there's no drums to this. I'm just following this prog. So then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna buy it. I'm like, damn, I should have bought this a long time ago. So then I got home, and it's like, all right, before I buy it, I got to make 13 Halloween-inspired beats. And if I do, I could buy it. So I sit down, and when I say Halloween, well, I have this like another sample pack where it's like a Halloween movie from like the 30s or some shit. So I chopped it up, or it's pre-chopped, and I just took the music bits and I started to flip them, and then I'll layer. That's the idea. So I'm going in, doing it. So I got up to 5, took a shower, did 6, and then I fell asleep doing 7. 7 was hot, man. It was like. So I just got to do 5 more, and then I could go buy my new sample pack. Because I think that's the best way to move forward. Like, I got to earn my new sample packs. But, I mean, the grand plan is, like, making music is not hard for me, as you could see, whatever. And I haven't figured out a way to like, again, I'm in a place, in an area where no one around me makes music. In the era of when Dilla and during his thing, it would be like, yo, Dilla, can you make me a track? This is before he was up there. He's making tracks and people were asking for him. Timberland, same thing. Who else? I read his book, right? Like, they were just in an environment where people were like, yo, you got beats. Ain't nobody. First, one, in my area, people gave up on music. 2, people don't think it's like it's the worst place for me to be, could be depressing, but I'm just kind of just getting my ducks in order. So, you know, when things start moving, I could pull from different digital crates and make the music. And the reason I started getting the bundles, because one, it's cheaper per song, per unit. That's on some NBA shit. Let me run the math for you real quick. One sample pack is $29. That's the going rate. One sample pack usually has 10 to 14 tracks. We're going to call it 10 and bump that up to 30. That means each track is $3. One song is $3. Now, you could flip one song a billion different ways, infinite. And maybe that is the best per unit cost. But in general, one song has one kind of feel. So 10 tracks earn a similar theme, different feels, but similar, because they, you know, this is prog and they all sound like prog. The bundle is $60. No, let's call it $60. No, it's $150. Yeah, $150 for 5. Wait. 100 and let's see. Let's say it's 150 for 5. I don't got the numbers off my head. Leave me alone. But the bundles are cheaper, of course. And sometimes they have like specials on top of the specials. 50% off the bundle. So then you get like even more cheaper. So I just be shopping that way on Black Friday, Christmas, when they have a random, everything on this side is 50% off. That's when I be stocking up on these bundles. And then if I have this infinite source of this style to make this kind of music ad nauseum, because you can also take 2 samples and mash them like so, and you know, just going through, and you know, the basics are the same: chop, remix, flip. But and then, you know, the economics, right? So again, one sample pack, $30 for 10. One is $3. So if you sold one beat for $4, you didn't make a profit yet. Well, you would make $1 profit. So if you sold 10 for $4, you'd make a $10 profit. Now, if you set your bar that low, but that is a form of economics. I discovered this, you know, one after business school, or at least the seeds were planted in my brain during business school, and then moving forward, or after that, things started to kind of click. Like, oh, okay. I mean, for the videos, I think each video I post might get about 30 cents from ad revenue. Some get $1, some get $3. So the walking I do is good for my health, my mental state, and I make 3 cents or 30 cents. After a month, I might make $10 from walking. And after a year, I might get $100 cash out. It wasn't always like that. In Japan, it was double, triple. One time I saw one video made $10 because it was the early days of YouTube. I didn't know about the CPCs and all that shit. And again, I was in that situation where I'm trying to tell people, yo, man, your video, it makes 0.000005. Because I was talking to this one guy, he's like, yeah, if I make 1 million videos, I'll make $1 million. Like, but that can't work because your videos make 0.000005. And like, we're arguing. And it was just a weird thing. And I'm like, and if you're watching, you know I love you. But I was like, let me get into your analytics. And I pop in there and I color code everything in Excel. Like, these videos are getting 5 cents. This one got $5. The rest of these are getting 0. So if you made 1 million videos, and then I even threw out the 80-20, 20% of your content is going to make money. The other 80% is just dead weight. It's stuff but it was lost. Like, he just, okay, whatever. And then on my end, I took 80% of my videos disappeared from YouTube. And people, what happened to that video? But at the same time, the 20% that was left started getting more. And at this point, when I would tell this, like, you gotta make the videos for love, man. You just can't be, you're too business oriented, man. It's like, yeah. And then like I would meet the big YouTubers in Japan, and they are all on, they have little charts and Excel things. But anyway. But it sucks because I'm torn. When I make music, I'm not thinking about making money. Hence why I'm buying what I buy and how I make the music. Like Moonrock. I was supposed to work on it, but I told myself I gotta make 13 tracks, and I'll do it, whatever. But the other day I was in the car listening to one of my tracks, and like, this is the title track. So I'm like, all right, I'll make an actual single. I'm gonna make a video, and I'm gonna promote the hell out, or at least I'm gonna drop the single first, and then drop the album after, because that's what you're supposed to do, I guess. And I'm gonna do a lyric video where I break down the lyrics before, because every time I drop an album, I kind of just let that shit fend for itself. And that's because I just want to create and then done, but then I'd be all annoyed because no one bought it or supported it. But you know, they say in the sales books, a person gotta say no 10 times before they say yes. I don't ever want to harass anybody 10 times. You just gotta be like, I want it, done. But you know, a lot of these sample packs I'm buying, it's because their ads keep attacking me. I'll be on Instagram, bah, bah, and then I'm like, click the link and like, okay, this is pretty cool, I'll buy it. Imagine if they're just, I don't want to harass other. But the song in question, I'll give you a preview. 42 minutes? I've been sitting here talking. I don't even know if I'm gonna go up into the woods. I've been out here too long, and there's ticks up there. But actually, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. I'm scared though, man. I don't know. Anyway, so the song, right? The song, it goes, I don't got titles for these yet. I mean, they're still raw and rough. But this song in particular, it is beautiful. It starts off with a bass, like a bass cello. It looks like I'm just scratching myself, but that's, you know, and I got that from one of my friends. I don't know if you call him a friend, but when I was in Japan, I met this random guy who'd come to the beat battles, and he would always lose because he'd be like, I just started practicing this morning. But he's a phenomenal piano player. This man, he'd be but when it came to beat making, he just sucked. And I'm just like, why don't you bring a piano? Like, make the most minimalist beat and then just riff on top of that shit. I would say this to all the, like, there's some trumpet players, some singers. They come in there, I'm going to be Dilla. But they don't do Dilla. They spend all their time doing, like, classical. They do, like, jazz ensembles. Like, use your strength. Like, the first battle I went into, I'm up there making the beat under pressure. I'm sweating, and it's like, oh, this shit sucks. Time! And I'm like, all right. The guy plays his beat, and he's Dilla. He's all finger drumming and brrr. So I get up there, I push thing, and I'm like, yo, give me the mic. I step up like, and they're just like, ah! And I won. Won $500. You gotta lean in with your skills, right? But anyway, he invited me because someone else couldn't make it. Like, that's my thing. No one else could make it, get Matt. And it was like a jazz thing. And there was this guy with this bass, and he's all, and he's just going at it. There was a piano guy, trumpet guy, and then like, and special guest Ryman Gujin. Like again, we weren't friends. I get up there, and I'm just like, so I always had this idea, is the double bass. Hey, look, we got new scenery. So I drive this way when I come back from work. I did a photo shoot right here where she was naked holding her breast. That was a long time ago. But so it starts with a double bass. And then it comes in with some other stuff.
The truth is, we all go through things. Some make songs, others swallowed in pain, while others swallow in bottles to swallow their brain. But you know the path I follow was simple and plain.
It goes, it just, so this bass going for 2 bars. And then just, it drops. The truth is, we all go through things. I guess a statement, like, that's the truth. We all go through things. Some make songs and others swallowed in pain. So that's me. I make songs and swallowed in pain. People who just sit there harping on shit they can't change. While others swallow in bottles to swaddle their brain. But you know the path I follow is simple and plain. Like that shit just hits on just I'm talking that shit, you know? And then the way it just flows. Some make songs, some swallowed in pain, but you know the path I follow is simple and plain. It flows, right? And then the next part, simple and plain. Blast like Apollo. So the Apollo spaceship rocket thing is going to explore the unknown spaces. So when I do my music, I'm trying to explore unknown places. But also Apollo was the Greek god of art. Right? Blast like Apollo. Surpass the sorrow. You know, by me doing my music, I'm going to get past all that shit. Because that shit will hold you back. Like tomorrow. Worrying about what happens. You're sitting there waiting for shit. So that shit will hold you back like tomorrow. I stick to the script. Narrow. Like I don't deviate. If you watch my video now and you watch my video last year and you watch I'm basically doing the same shit. Maybe it's insanity if you keep doing the same shit. Or maybe I could say I'm doing the same thing, but I'm upgrading it, getting better at it. Stick to the script narrow. So when I die, stick to the script narrow. Flip this shit and kick. I will flip this shit until I kick the barrel. Like that line, I had another rhyme scheme going on, but it was just not coming out right. So I just wrote all that in like a second. And it just flowed, right? Stick to the script narrow. Because when I die, stick to the script narrow, kick this shit like a barrel. Because when I die, I'll be covered in raps, just like a pharaoh. And it's just like this, that whole thing was effortless. I didn't spend years or days. It just flowed like that. And it has multiple interpretations. So check this one out. It goes, stick to the script narrow. So when I die, I'll be covered in raps just like a pharaoh. So check it out. And I want to make like the videos, the lyric videos where they highlight the rhyme scheme and the meaning. But, like a pharaoh is covered in raps. I'm rapping. When I die, I'll be covered in raps, meaning I have said everything that I rapped about. And according to, like the jazz books, the highest, I don't know if it is, but the highest thing, well, maybe it's so to die doing what you love. So the piano, I think it was Duke Ellington, he died at the piano. Louis Armstrong's wife died playing on the piano. So that's like poetic justice or some shit like that. So I want to be, no, I don't want to die now. Don't be, but so I'll be covered in raps. Or after I pass on, people will rap about me. So I'll be covered in the raps of the people. Like, come on, like. And then, just like a pharaoh, I die for these rhymes. I'm not trying to get rich. I'm drawing the line. You better choose your side quick. So this is, again, the theme of the album is, you know, if you ain't riding with me, you're against me. Because, you know, shit. And in this line, I ain't paying any mind to a lying ass bitch. This applies to guys and women with nice tits. I don't care who you are. Next line, you ain't fit to walk with me. You saw Whitney. Her demise came quickly. Friends left her up Schitt's Creek. Now, I didn't verify this or fact check it, but I'm pretty sure Whitney Houston died in the bathtub. I think so. And even if it's not true, I'm just gonna leave it because I don't want to change it up. But let's say she did die in a bathtub, so up Schitt's Creek, drowning. Pretty strong imagery there. And then the next part goes on. This my christening. Now, I didn't fact check it. Like when I'm writing, I just write, you know. But I believe when you're christened, there's water poured on you or you're baptized. I'm not sure. I gotta get all that fact check. This is my christening, I want to use the imagery. Left her up Schitt's Creek. This is my christening. So when you die, you're reborn, depending on your religion. And the christening is what you get when you are born. And yeah. So this is my christening. From now, I'm different because now I'm blessed, whatever. This is my christening. From now, I'm different. I wasted so much time talking about my business, stretching out a word to make it fit the rhyme scheme. But just the facts. I spend a lot of time trying to explain the things I do to people, and they just look at me like, huh? Really? I don't get it. Or they say, oh man, you're so smart. You're a genius. You're like a god. And then they turn around but you don't know what you're doing. Like it would be in the same breath. Oh my gosh, you are so smart. You read all them books. You got your MBA, but you don't know what you're doing. So I wasted so much time talking about my business. If y'all don't get it by now, you're just not listening. So just like I made all these YouTube videos and people be like, so why are you in Easton again? If you don't. And then you're just not listening. It finally makes sense. Wasn't paying attention when all signs pointed to another dimension. And so some people, you know, you're out of here with you're in another space with the way you're thinking. Well, if that is the case, then how can you limit me to earthly concepts and ideas? You know? So if the sign is pointing, wow, you're out there, then how can you hold me to down here kind of concepts? So to another dimension and vibrating at frequencies not evident. Now this shit, I used that imagery maybe twice, I remember. But hey, look, I made it out the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. That's not bad. I thought I had to go through the woods. But we're gonna go up to the park. But vibrating at frequencies not evident. I did have one friend who said that to me. He said, you vibrate differently. I mean, I don't choose to vibrate differently. I actually wrote one of the songs right over there. I went down that way. I think it's track number 2. But vibrating at frequencies not evident, surrounded by zombies. Like that line right there. Like, what's a zombie? Someone who's mindless, just following everyone else and eating, fulfilling their primal, eat, fuck, sleep type shit. Useless. So surrounded by zombies, evil residents. I felt like this song or the album has almost like a battle rap kind of, surrounded by zombies, evil residents, and the crowd like, oh! So it's like that. But evil residents being a movie, but resident being like in the neighborhood, being like where I'm surrounded, the people surrounding. But I take this to like a global, the world we live in, residents, they just be doing some evil shit. Like, how many people got to bring guns to school and bring guns to wherever? And don't even get me started with just people are just doing foul shit, man. Gotta stop. Don't know if it will stop. So yeah, surrounded by zombies, and they just follow the crowd. Evil residents, from the bottom right up to the top. From the bottom right up to the president. And this shit, I'm not, like, when I'm writing to write, I just write. It just flows out of me. And it could be the former president. It could be the current president. Presidents, they got a lot to, there's a lot of shit we don't know. And they making decisions that, from the bottom right up to the president. And at this point, when I rapped it, like, my voice from the bottom right up to, like I start whispering. Like, it's eerie. It's just like, because one thing about the album, I'm old school, so I didn't want to do any punch-ins. It had to be a one take. And this album's filled with like just one verse of like 32 bars, 64. Like, it's just one long. So when I got to this part, like, I'm just rappity rap, and it's just like, evil president from the bottom right up to the, and then the next line is like, you can get silenced for telling this. Because like, if you whistleblowers, and this president, it could be like the president of the United States, but it could be the president of a corporation, like president of Coca-Cola. Yeah, we got to get everyone to drink Coca-Cola. And someone's like, but won't people get diabetes and obesity? He's like, fuck all that shit. We just got to get our money. We got to beat Pepsi. Like, they know what they're doing. And then after the fact, Coke Zero and Diet Coke and all that shit. Or the person who made vape. He's like, dude, we're promoting this as if this is better than cigarettes, but clearly it has its own issues. It's like, fuck all that. We're just trying to make money. So, or Black Lives Matter, wasn't the president of that found to be not using the money, or the president of, like, whoever's at the top, or, the bottom, they usually say poor people be doing dumb shit because they don't know better. Or it could be an age thing. But either way, like that the imagery is from the bottom going up. So you can get silenced for selling this the same way you can get snuffed for selling cigarettes. So I believe Eric Gardner, who kind of kicked off the protests around the world. It was crazy during that time. Like, I had Japanese people like tagging me. I support you, Matthew. Like, I don't need your Instagram support. But that too, I guess these are couplets, I don't know. But that whole, you can get silenced for telling this the same way the police will snuff you for selling cigarettes. Like, the alliteration, it's on point, and it just flows. And then the next line, I'm talking too much. So I was saying before, a lot of these songs on the album are just a stream of consciousness. I think maybe only 3 are first verse, second verse, maybe 2 actually have a chorus. There's only one song with like a chorus of me doing it. The other two, I let the track do the chorus for me. And the other ones, I don't know what to do yet. I got to figure that out. So like, I'm talking too much, Boosie. Or I'm talking too much, and then I say Boosie. That's this rapper, Boosie Badass, I believe his name is. I don't know. I always see him on Vlad TV or just, like, I don't know him for his music. I just know every time he's always talking about something. You know, I'm just saying my opinions. If you don't like my opinions, I mean, we all got opinions. Doesn't mean you got to share them. And he's famous enough where if he says this, it's going to get shared. And then, so I'm talking too much, Boosie. But you love my nuts. Wow, we had a minute. But look at that view, man. I wish my dad, I don't think he's going to walk all the way up here, but it'd be so nice if we're up here just in nature. I mean, that's another topic. Anyway, so, you loving my, I'm talking too much, Boosie. You loving my nuts, Lucy. Now, I felt a little weird about this one because it's, you'd have to do some thinking. But, I mean, as is, it could be, oh, you just be loving me like some random chick named Lucy. But actually, it's, you loving my nuts, Lucy. So in Peanuts, Lucy's character likes Schroeder, and she'd be all sitting up by the piano, and he all be like, shake, and he'd be like so focused on his music. Like, again, the imagery, man, bam. But it could also be on some hip hop braggadocio. You love my nuts, but you love my nuts, Lucy. I'm writing my life on a loose leaf. Now, when I do the official video of the breakdown, I didn't technically write my lyrics on a piece of loose leaf paper because I'm, you know, digital. Because when it comes time to like post it on, like if I'm posting the lyrics, I would have to transfer it from the paper, which is already fading and smudged, and then put it onto the thing. So I just do it from my phone, and it just kind of transfers, you know, Apple ecosystem. But anyway, the idea is still there. You loving my nuts, Lucy, but writing my life on this loose leaf. Y'all just hearing rhymes, but this is a movie. Saturday night, I dance kind of goofy. I hope y'all see before God removes me. You see me smiling because y'all fools amuse me. Come on now. Come on now. Like someone was saying, you should play your music for your dad. Like, I don't think, all he could say is that's my son and all that, but I don't think there's anyone who's going to be picking up on the lines, and it's not even like I'm being all I can't even think, being obscure about shit. These are pretty basic rhyme, well, the rhyme scheme. So the rhyme scheme, the transitions are crazy. Like where was the, you gotta choose your side quick. Ain't paying any mind to a lying ass bitch. This applies to guys or women with nice tits. Y'all ain't fit to walk with me. Y'all saw Whitney. Demise came quickly. Friends left her up shit. Like, I know I'm tooting my own horn. There's probably a hater out there. Oh, fuck all that shit. But I never did this before. Like, it's just flowing that way. And I think it's partial because when I was reading on Duke Ellington and Dilla and now I did write all these before that, but you know, as I'm writing, I'm reading other books, and you know, it just inspired me to push myself, because normally my raps just kind of be like always rhyming on the end of the whole sentence. This is just a whole nother thing. But yeah, man, I've been talking for a minute. I could still keep talking, but I want to listen to my prog instrumentals to motivate me to finish making my my tracks. Because I made a promise to myself and I got to keep it. I mean, nobody would care and the result will be the same. But I need to get into a habit of making a project, finishing it before I move on to the next one. And this is a step up. Normally I would make a song and put it up. This is a whole project, 13 little things. So that's the plan. And again, my dad wants me to write some checks for him for a AAA for a car that he does not drive. It is annoying because he'd be like, I don't even know why I'm doing it. Then don't do it. And I was like, I could have wrote it last night, but he wants to like stand over me and make sure I write it in the way that he dictates. And then he doesn't like to waste money on stamps. I could literally walk down. The place is close to where we live. I could just hand it to him, but he wants to put it in the envelope. And so then, because a couple years ago when Trump held up, at least in Pennsylvania, the mail didn't run a whole day. So everyone's mail was late, and my parents got a late charge for a bill that came because the mail never arrived. Maybe it was like a Friday or something. I don't know. So I'm a little wary. So I'd rather take a check. I mean, I'd rather do like direct deposit and all that, but my dad's check. So take the check, walk, drive, hand it to the people. You get a receipt. But hey, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. So it's a long one. And thank you guys for watching. The album is dropping. I'm thinking now to put everything in place, because I'm even going to do like a listening party. That's something new. Maybe pre-releases, but the single, do the video, do the lyric video, and listening party. So I might push it to. So I'll drop my Halloween projects in Halloween time, and then November drop the album. I never dropped any album in November. Usually September, April, and maybe August. And so it's coming around November. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's nice, man. But yeah. Be safe. And see you guys on Friday.